Hi there. I thought that today we could talk about some things that you can be doing right now to ensure that this year you have an incredibly successful gardening year. One of the first things you want to do right now is start taking an inventory of the tools and the supplies that you need and make sure that you have those in store. Last year I broke a hoe. I need to replace one of those. I know that one of my garden hoses started to leak, and so I need to either repair that or I need to buy a new hose. So those are examples of what you might need to repair. The other thing you might want to look at is anything that you use mechanically. Like my lawnmower right now, I know I need to buy a new battery for that. I use that to haul things around in the little cart behind it, like soil, compost, any debris from the yard or the garden. And so I need to get that taken care of right away. You need to decide what seeds you're going to plant if you're going to plant seeds. And if you are going to plant seeds, you need to make sure that you purchase those in a timely manner so that you can get them planted. You need to buy seed trays or reuse the ones that you've already got. Also seed mix, seed starting mix, and some fertilizer to keep those growing. Maybe you need grow lights, grow mats, heat mats rather, to keep those seedlings at an ideal temperature so they'll germinate. I use an application called the Planter app in order to tell me when I need to plant those seeds. There are other apps similar that you can get. And there's also the web. You can just get onto the web and say, when do I plant cucumbers? Or what should I be planting right now? And it'll usually give you a pretty good list as long as you know what your growing zone is. Now, you can also start to clean out the debris from your garden from last year if you had one. It's not time to start tilling that up quite yet, but you could get any of the dead plant stalks that might still be there or any branches that fell into it out of the garden. The other thing for my first-time gardeners, you have a choice of whether you just want to grow inside, outside, or both. And if you're thinking about growing inside, a few things you want to think about is where will I do this inside? Do I have a space that works? Do I need shelving, or can I just grow it in a window? If you're growing and you want grow lights, you want to consider that, how to attach those grow lights either to a ceiling or to a shelving unit. I use shelving units inside the house. Helps with the placement of the grow lights, and I can grow more vertically than I can horizontally. The other thing that you want to consider is it a consistent temperature in the room where I'm going to be planting these seeds? So if you have a 40-degree room, it's probably not going to germinate many of the seeds that you might consider. Now, a lot of people think that the only thing that you can grow inside are microgreens and lettuce, spinach, arugula, those types of things. But you can grow other things inside. I haven't done it, but maybe this winter I'll try it. Kale, peppers, tomatoes, and root crops like radishes, beets, and carrots. The issue with carrots is you would need a container that was deep enough for the carrot to grow deeply. Now, my first time outside gardeners, you want to decide how much you want to grow, where you want to grow. You do need to have 6 to 8 hours of full sun in order to have a garden that thrives. And you want to decide, what am I growing in? Am I going to have raised beds? Am I just going to till up the ground outside and throw seeds in the ground or plants in the ground? Or I'm going to have containers? And so those are the 3 ways that you can grow. So it's time to decide if you're going to grow in containers. You need to either find stuff in your house to repurpose, to make containers out of. That can be a 5-gallon bucket that you drill holes in. It could be an old terracotta pot that you might have around, or you can go purchase these types of things. I would consider purchasing grow bags. You can find those in garden centers. You can find them online. The other thing that you can do is you can start building a raised bed. There are many designs online as far as how to build a raised bed. If you're not the kind of person who's handy, you don't want to build the raised bed, there are plenty of different types of raised bed kits that you can get online at garden centers, and even like at a place like Menards, where it's a home building store. If you're using a traditional garden, then you want to maybe soil test See what's going on with that soil. Do you need to add fertilizer? Do you need to add lime? Those types of things. When you're container gardening, you don't need to test the soil so much because each year you're going to replace at least half of that soil, probably add a little fertilizer into it. It should be good if you do that. But if you have new soil, it should be good. Now, not all soil that you purchase is the same. So I remember during the pandemic buying bags and bags and bags of composted manure and also garden soil from a particular store, and it was awful. It was just awful. It just didn't grow anything. Since then, I've called my local landscape person, and they will drop off a load of garden soil, and I use enough that I can get a truckload every year, which is 4 yards. But again, there is good garden soil out there. I think that what happened during the pandemic is everybody decided to garden, and probably they just packed up whatever they had. So I would buy 1 bag at a store and see if you like it. And if you like it, then go ahead and buy more of those bags. But it can be anything from being like clay, or it can be full of sticks and stones and rocks. So you don't want all of that excess debris in there either. If you're growing a traditional garden, you want to think about how you're going to till the soil. Are you going to use a rototiller? Are you going to have somebody come and plow it? Or are you just going to go out and hoe it up and rake it up all on your own? So those are just a few tips of what you could be doing right now if you're getting excited about gardening this year. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. There will be a copy of the transcript below this video. And until we see you next time, happy gardening.